Let's talk more NBA. Stop playing. This week, friend of the show, by the way, Brian Scalabrine sparked a crazy rumor on SiriusXM Radio that the Warriors are looking to trade Klay Thompson. Steve Kerr?
Did you see what Scalabrine said about a possible Klay trade, and what did you think of that?
Oh, what?
Possible Klay Thompson trade?
Really?
Yeah.
No, Brian hasn't called me yet, so if Brian wants to call, then I'll get Bob on the phone, and then Bob and I can pick his brain, and we'll figure out what we should do. I think our guys know that that stuff is, almost always just BS.
It's always crazy until it's not.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this. It's not that absurd. I mean, it could happen someday, right? Not based on any of this, but...
I think it's absurd. One, because...
Really?
Well, why would you want a collection of the 4 All-Stars that they have to just say, no, we actually only wanted 3? Like the whole Durant...
Because maybe you need something that you just don't have to get you over the hump.
Well, yeah, they do need defensive presence. They do need some size in the paint. I give you all that. But when you get this thing to work the way it's supposed to work, it's going to be special. Even as a Clipper fan, I'm sitting there like, if they're hot on that night, you're not beating them that night. You can wear them down over a series. You can beat them up. But when they're clicking, they're clicking. But this is just an inevitable consequence of when the stories used to be about what the facts were back in the days. And now,
the good old days.
Now it's just content-based. We got to fill the time. We got to fill the space. We got to fill the pages. And that's what this is.
Yeah, I agree. It's just one of those things. It was somebody's opinion.
Yep.
And it grew legs.
It did.
Yep.
But if someone is to get traded, it might be Klay.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, no one's
Okay,
like, touch him.
that's a conversation. If you have to get rid of one of the big boys.
Them to boost their bench up, because they have no bench right now.
Well, he's the best defender of all of their backcourt. So
I agree.
when Steph is running around shooting threes and say, I don't have to play defense, Klay is the one playing defense and getting shots up. I think that would be disastrous. That's the same reason why Jerry West went and put his career on the line, said, if you get rid of Klay 2 years ago, I'm going too. And then obviously that worked out for him. You don't get rid of Klay, he's too special.
I agree. It's just, well, like I said, it's just one of them things that grew legs. They got a good thing going right now. It's just not getting going. They still learning to play with basketball with one another.
Yeah.
We'll see.
This is why I warned my mom to stop reading everything on Facebook. It's not fact. Next topic, right. Celtics Pelicans last night. Solomon Hill threw down an amazing dunk on Marcus Smart, but was called for an offensive because guess what? Smart flopped. Now, this is really great flopping, right, Kenyon?
Yeah, I think Marcus Smart and the referee should be fined.
What?
That's awful, man. He fell sideways. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
That's awful.
No points for the courage to stand there and get posterized?
Not at all, because it's no one will remember it.
Yeah.
After today, no one, because it was a charge call.
But he got bailed out. I mean, you talk about, like, that could have been very ugly. And, look, as a Clipper fan,
he did fall sideways.
I respect the flops. Like, that's what we do. We get away with that, too. The wind, the smell, I don't know, something made him faint.
Yeah,
but it wasn't contact, I'll give you that.
Yeah, whatever it wasn't the actual contact from Solomon.
But can we even be mad at him because it worked? I mean, what's the message here?
Yeah.
Keep doing it?
Referees, like you said.
Hey,
he's like, that's his thing. He's done it before, by the way.
Not the first time. Not the first
time.
Not
the first time. This is his thing.
Look, right back to him.
Oh.
Come on, man.
He is going to hurt himself.
Somebody shot him.
He's trying to act like he got hurt.
Hit
the ground harder than he got pushed.
Remy on the roof. Remy on the roof.
He looked like he actually looked like he got hit by you. Listen, he looked like he got hit by you.
Man,
I've never seen that play. Just
come on, man. Like, you coming around the end and him standing there in the pocket. Like,
I respect his commitment to the art.
Thank you.
I mean, he's good.
Oh,
he is something good.
That's beyond great.
I hope we get more of those. Last night, the Southern Illinois University basketball team lost to Arkansas on the road. But what losing coach Barry Hinson was upset about was the lack of attendance at the game. Now, he's familiar with Arkansas because he's been on coaching staffs at Kansas and Missouri State, so he's been in the arena a few times. Here he is.
You want me to be honest? Yeah. That's not an Arkansas crowd. That's not Razorback crowd. But I've been in here. You guys know when I was in here, and I told our guys, when they bring that damn Arkansas flag out with 3 minutes to go in the game, and you're yelling your off and they can't hear you, that's what it's all about. But that's not the Razorback crowd that I know. You guys got to get your butts. Where's the camera? Where's the Arkansas cameras? You got to get your butts back in this gym.
Wow, direct message. Okay, again, to reiterate, he's the coach.
Yeah.
for the other team.
Yeah, right.
Getting mad at Arkansas.
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
I guess he didn't get booed enough.
Yeah, what do you want?
Yeah, I guess he wanted a more contentious crowd. It's an indictment on him as well in his program because a lot of times you come out to see the visiting team.
That's true.
So how good are you, Southern Illinois, showing up? We don't want to see you guys. We know what Arkansas is because we're fans of Arkansas.
Did they win or did they lose?
I don't even think it matters
know.
at this point.
Yeah, so what did he go out there and then he was just like, we're not going to play.
Right.
There was no talk about the game or X's and O's, or it was just the crowd.
This must be a thing because Pete Carroll just went on record talking about New England's crowd, saying it's not like our crowd. It's very classy, which is just basically
I'm sorry. He just called a Boston crowd classy.
He called it classy. Like, you know, you can hear, you can do your regular offensive signals.
Might be a first.
Yeah, all that stuff. So
Boston.
I know.
They want it harder. They want a harder path, I guess.
It's the outskirts. I'm sorry. Who won? Who lost? He won. He lost. Arkansas won. Again, like I said, it didn't matter.
It didn't even.
Best in the West.
That sounded a little personal.
Yeah, definitely personal.
Personal.
All right, what can I say? They beat the Nets last night, 127-95, 32-point win for non-math people who can't read. Doc Rivers, talk to us about how awesome your team is right now.
Awesome.
You know, we're all saying you're like the best team in the league now.
No.
Do you not want that?
I don't care, really. I mean, at the end of the day, we like us. As good as we're playing, and I said it before the game, we can be a lot better.
Shout out to Ramona. Your reaction?
Oh, my reaction is just simple. It's my favorite time of the show. It's our time for our weekly segment, Clip City, Chip City. Roll it, Kathy.
Marcellus, Wiley.
Clip City, Chip City. Clip City, Chip City. Yep. This is a super team. Clip City, Chip City. Clip City, Chip City time. Clip City, Chip City. Oh, let's not let these numbers get in the way of a story. Look at this. This is the NBA standings as reported on NBA.com. That's right. They write Clip City, Chip City now. And then I look down at some of the bottom teams. Oh, is that you, Michelle Beadle?
Yeah, but you know what I like to do at this time of year, Marcellus?
What?
I like to take a long look at my pug calendar and see what month it is and realize none of this matters.
Oh, none of this matters
None
now.
of what you're trying to point out right. Talk to him, Kenyon.
No, none of this matter right now. 11 games?
Yeah.
11 games?
It beats the alternative of losing 10 of the 11 games. We won 10 of the 11 games by an average score of what, like 11 points?
About a lot.
Blowing
Yeah, you're
teams
doing things.
out. Come on, Kenyon.
That has nothing to do with it's November. We ain't even made the Thanksgiving yet.
Okay, hold on. Last November, I was hearing about this Golden State team on their quest, and it ends up 73 wins. So every step of the way, every step of the process is supposed to matter. You guys always spitting out these cliches. You got to go out there and play every single day. Now, we're doing that, and all of a sudden, you don't want to give us credit.
I'm giving them credit. They 10-1.
Do they look great? Are they the best team right now?
You don't win it right now.
Damn you.
June is when it counts, man. June is when it counts. Right now, I don't.
Can you give me something to hope for?
Well, they're playing great. They're beating teams at the crib, 20+ every night.
There you go.
It's a great time for the Clippers.
Better team than
What do
we've
you
ever
see
seen.
that's going to fall apart for them eventually?
Wow.
I don't wish no downfall on no team, but
there you go.
They haven't made it out of the second round, so we'll see.
Oh, you see?
History. Oh, I heard history right there.
I've been a part of it.
We can't live in the moment, but we can live in the past.
I've been a part of it.
Thank you. That was great advice.
It's true.
I don't want to squash your party, Marcellus.
Yes, you do.
I know. Let's talk some hoops. Last night, Russell Westbrook got teed up for what appeared to be an accidental kick to Kentavious Caldwell-Pope's groin. Now, as you might have imagined, he was not happy about the call, and neither was our NBA writer Royce Young with the following tweet. Clearly a ridiculous call on Westbrook, especially because the rule states, quote, unnatural acts. That was not unnatural. It was just bad timing. Look, this is a post-Draymond kicking people in the groin world, and you have to take everything into consideration. So, that being said, is that technical outrageous?
It's the NBA, man. This call is unreal, man. The guy's behind him, so is he supposed to turn his head?
I don't know.
While he's shooting this way, turn his head around and see where he is.
So you got a problem with
It's accidental.
Hey, hold on, accidental
It seems
kick.
like
Hold on,
it.
you trying to say direction determines intent? No, you can kick me from the back, and then all of a sudden that means that you maybe didn't try,
Cut Marcellus.
or maybe you did try.
So that's $1,000. He loses $1,000 because of that.
You think that's real?
Yeah, because look, we're not going to talk about intent. We're going to talk about result. We're going to talk about the rights of 2 balls and a strike. We're going to talk about the fact that if you sit there, the balloons are like, dude, I'm just sitting there playing basketball and you do something that's wrong. And I don't understand you.
Yeah.
Because you should be on my side with this because you've been the victim of something like this before.
Yeah.
If we can see some of this footage of you taking an L.
Don't do this to my friend.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, see? It wasn't a technical then.
It's actually fair.
In that NBA, I'm sure
it wasn't a technical then, so why is it a technical now? No, and I'm in real live pain right now.
Yeah, you look like you're dying.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you this. We get mad about refs when they miss calls, but isn't the whole point of having human officiating is that you should have the ability to take each thing into consideration as case by case? And in this particular case, was a groin kicked? Sure.
Yeah.
But if you look at it, you realize it was completely accidental. You should know as a human being, like, all right, we're good.
Unless this is the evolution of the Draymond kick, unless this is the sophistication of one Russell Westbrook saying, I know a way to play it off, like no one is going to see my intent. But in reality...
So he's just going to wing his foot back, hoping somebody's there.
Let's look at 1,000 Russell Westbrook jump shots. How many times does he kick his own butt back like this? How many times do you see that?
It's a natural pull-up. If you're running full speed and you stop,
yeah,
your feet automatically go that way.
Everybody knows that, Marcellus.
Everybody knows that.
I just learned something
He just happened to be in a bad spot.
He's dropping jewels with no notes. I had no idea that would happen like that. You would kick your butt?
He just happened to be in a bad spot.
You guys agreed yet? No, huh?
No.
Interesting.
The video.
All right, well, so we'll keep going. We have a bit more of a serious topic. In a recent interview with Jackie McMullen, Phil Jackson called out LeBron James as an entitled player and shared this story about the Cavs superstar. Quote, well, LeBron was playing with the Heat. They went to Cleveland, and he wanted to spend the night. They don't do overnights. Teams just don't. So now Coach Eric Spoelstra has to text Wiley and say, what do I do in this situation? And Pat, who has iron fist rules, answers, you are on the plane. You are with this team. You can't hold up the whole team because you and your mom and your posse want to spend an extra night in Cleveland. Maverick Carter has taken issue with Jackson's use of the word posse, tweeting, quote, every step you take, they remind you, you ghetto. Today, LeBron also responded.
We see the success that we had, but then there's always someone that lets you know how far we still have to go as African Americans, you know. And I just don't believe that Phil Jackson would have used that same term if he was doing business with someone else. To use that label, and if you go and read the definition of what the word posse is, it's not what I've built over my career. It's not what I stand for. It's not what my family stands for.
Reactions. Kenyon.
I agree with LeBron, 1,000%. If he wasn't dealing with a group of young black men, brown men, I don't think he would use that same term. But what is Phil Jackson commenting on LeBron James anyway for? LeBron has never played for a team that Phil's been a GM for, president for, coach for. What does he comment on him for? So I think Phil should worry about why the triangle don't work.
That's a fair follow-up.
I mean, let me just tear all this up because that's the best point. What's going on with the triangle, damn it? Context matters. Time of social unrest, as we know in this country, you got to be very cautious in what you say and how you deliver it. We're talking about the battle between racial insensitivity, and we're talking about people who may be hypersensitive. So that could be Maverick Carter, who is hypersensitive, and it could be Phil Jackson, who sounds insensitive. Let's answer this, because in life, three things happen. Thoughts turn into words that turn into actions. And I think LeBron's saying, there may be some prejudice here because when you see 5 white guys, let's use example, down the street, oh, look at that crew. When you see 5 black guys, you say, look at that gang. When you see 5 white guys working with an NBA player, you say, look at those associates. Or you look at the black guys and you say, look at that posse.
I say posse for everything.
Yeah. Well, look, Sir Mix-a-Lot made it very popular. My posse was on Broadway. But I don't think Phil Jackson was playing that song in his head when he was talking about that. And I do understand where Maverick's coming from. But I also understand that there's no malice intended here, so therefore let's not overreact to it.
All right, so can we have this conversation?
Are you sure?
We're going to have this conversation.
Oh, let's go.
As like the white person sitting up here, because I want to be able to talk about these things, because what's going to happen again is we're going to get in a situation where somebody said a word, someone took it a different way than perhaps maybe they meant, maybe they didn't. I don't know because I'm not in his head. And then we all sort of freeze because we don't know what we're allowed to say now.
Yeah.
What if posse, and look, Phil Jackson's like 120 years old, so let's just call it what it is. Like, the word posse to me has always just meant, like, if I have all my girlfriends here, I'm like, I got my posse, and we're going to the restaurant. And I would not have taken it that way.
Yeah.
So is this going to be a situation where, you know, people who look like me don't see it as a sensitive issue? And maybe we're just not getting it?
It's all sensitive, but people are sensitive, like you said, it can get taken out of context at any given time. But, like, you say things around certain people, you don't know how people are going to take it. You know, so let's.
I'm afraid to talk.
Yeah, well,
don't be afraid to talk. Let's just keep your comments to yourself.
But what happens when they ask? Like when they, you know, they're always asking everyone about everybody.
What colors this situation, no pun intended, is the fact that he was being derogatory towards LeBron. He was basically calling LeBron out for being a
So
diva.
if he would have said his buddies,
but
then we would not be
but
here.
then the alignment of, okay, you're calling them out, you're being derogatory, and then you use this term, that's not a flattering term in that context. So Phil Jackson, the master,
so I'm asking you, if he would have said, they're in Cleveland, he wants to have a night out with his mom and his buddies, this is not a topic?
Maverick shouldn't have had a problem with that, but Maverick, obviously, being a buddy converted to a business associate is going to be sensitive.
Himself as businessman,
right.
Not
it's
as
weird
boy.
when people accuse you of getting your job through different means, isn't it? It's so unfair.